Sometimes a figure comes around that when it's first revealed, you absolutely hate it. And you continue to hate it for a good few months after it's revealed, all to the build-up of its eventual release. To the point that you were considering skipping it because you thought it looked so ugly or so flawed. However, when you finally get a hold of it, you end up really liking it. Hello guys, welcome to a new review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Kingdom Deluxe Class, Scorponok. So, you might be asking, where's the desk? And my response is, room renovations. Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, Scorponok transforms into a scorpion, obviously. What species of scorpion? The closest I could find on just a quick research is an emperor scorpion, mostly from the claw shape. Also, he's freaking huge. Pretty standard size for a deluxe, but big for a scorpion, that's for sure. And overall, I think this alt mode looks really nice. It's a really good representation of an actual real-life scorpion, and that is something Kingdom definitely has going for it with its beast modes. In size, he's actually pretty long, and yeah, he can fit on the palm of your hand. He's a pretty decently sized alt mode. But one big difference from an actual Emperor Scorpion is the fact that he is, gray, purple, and burgundy. Actual Emperor Scorpions are jet black, but hey, it's show accurate. Ironically, the jet black is actually accurate to his original toy. But yeah, overall, the Scorpion mode looks really nice. I love how this looks. Claws are a bit big, but yeah, have you seen what actual Scorpion claws look like? Some of them can actually get pretty large. Emperor Scorpion is no exception. But yeah. The molded detail on it is incredibly good. Looking very close to what the actual arthropodic Predacons looks like in the show, with this nice sort of bumpy texture to it, which adds to the whole feel. While, at the same time, he doesn't look exactly like his mainframe model, which I think is for the better, since Scorponok's mainframe model is, well, at least for his Scorpion mode, is one of the uglier models, in my opinion. He does have quite a bit of undercarriage kibble, and it hangs down pretty low, but when he's just sitting on a table, it's honestly not too noticeable. Some people are maybe upset that he doesn't look like his show model, but I'm personally fine with that. He was the definition of mid-90s CGI cheese, and I'm kind of glad that they went for the more realistic route here. For articulation in this mode, he has full range of movement in his shoulders, for the most part. Swivel at the bicep, bend at the elbow, very tight bend, swivel at the wrist, and the claws open and close. And you just saw something in there. In addition to that, each of his legs are on ball joints. The center two are fused. In addition to that, his tail up here does move, but only up here, otherwise you would need to untransform him a bit. And the stinger is on a ball joint. So, yeah. Onto size comparison. Here he is with Kingdom Cheetor, and yeah, that's a complete monster of a scorpion. And then again, Beast Wars didn't care about scale to begin with. Bit of a complicated thing with that, which I'm not going to get into here. And for something slightly more real-life accurate when it comes to scale, here he is with the original Beast Wars Buzzsaw. Specifically, this is the Takara version. Overall, Scorponok's Scorpion mode is very solid. Definitely out of the 3 bugs so far from Kingdom, he's my favorite. So that means he's probably going to be my favorite bug overall, or at least favorite bug mode. It's decently accurate to a real-life Scorpion, and generally just looks nice on a shelf, and It would also make a pretty good prank bug, if I'm being honest. On to transformation, I guess. His robot mode is where most of my original issues with this figure came from when he was first revealed. There were a few major things that I didn't like about this robot mode that, honestly, now getting him in person, don't bother me much at all. Right off the bat, this guy is kinda small. His alt mode was pretty big, but now he's small. He's very short, but at the same time also very stocky, as you can see with his broad shoulders, broad chest, and short, stocky legs. He's overall a pretty beefy little figure. The head sculpt is perfect. I have no problem with the head sculpt. It is a perfect representation of Scorponok's original head, which I like. The stinger now is put up against his back and now sort of goes over his head, movie Bone Crusher style, and that looks pretty nice and pretty menacing. The legs is, a lot of people have had trouble with the legs. I personally haven't had too much trouble with them. Yeah, they're a little cumbersome to deal with in transformation, but they're not too bad once you get the hang of them. The chest is where I originally had a lot of issues. At least in the stock photos, it looked very boxy and honestly made him look kind of fat. In person, though, it's nowhere near as noticeable. And I think it's because compared to the stock photos, there's more definition between these hinges right here and the actual section that's supposed to be the torso. So everything blends together a lot better, and he looks properly hench in person, opposed to just looking overly blocky. So yeah, in addition to that, I also had an issue with how short his legs are. And honestly, I don't know why I complained about that. He had short legs in the show, and I think they look fine here. Yeah, they may be a little too short, but honestly, I'm not too bothered by that. If I'm not bothered by Earthrise Prime's freakishly long legs, I'm not bothered by these guys' somewhat stumpy legs. So yeah, in the way of accessories, he comes with two, and they're both contained in his claws. In this one, we have an absolutely minuscule little cyber bee, which the camera does not want to focus on. And whatever. Point is, he comes with the cyber bee. Which is so small that the camera doesn't want to pick it up. So yeah, he comes with that. And he comes with a double missile in his other claw, as you can see. In the way of articulation, he's pretty standard. Tail up here, moves, finger on ball joint. Head is also on a ball joint. Shoulders, back and forth, in and out. Swivel at the bicep, bend at the elbow, swivel at the wrist, claws open and close, just like in beast mode. Swivel at the waist, back and forth, in and out at the hips, swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee, and standard Warfare Cybertron foot movement. So, yeah, generally pretty solid articulation. On to size comparison. Here he is with Kingdom Cheetor, and yeah, like I was saying, he's a very small figure. He's not Cliff Jumper small, but he's still definitely a stumpy figure. And I think the tail sort of makes up for the bit of the height, though, because with the tail, you can see he's taller than Cheetor. And here he is, next to Beast Wars Buzzsaw. And once again, tiny. This guy is a pretty chunky figure, so yeah. Overall, Scorponok, despite his flaws and all the flack I gave him when he was first shown off, I really like this figure. He's a solid, chunky-feeling figure, which is something you really haven't gotten much of in Kingdom. And overall, his articulation is fine, his alt mode is neat, his transformation is really, really fun. He's a solid figure. Yes, he's not for everyone, but I don't get why I hated him so much. Actually, I do. When this guy was first shown off, everyone was making a big deal about how great and how accurate he looked. When really he isn't that accurate. In the show, Scorponok is much thinner, really only being beefy up at his upper torso, gradually getting thinner as it goes down. He wasn't just pure beef. In addition to that, the claws are the complete wrong shape. Yes, he's not accurate to the show, but he's still a very solid figure, and I think all the praise for looking accurate that he was getting to begin with turned me off the figure to begin with, because objectively, he's not that show accurate other than a few design aspects, his head sculpt, and color scheme. But just as a figure, he's not terrible. I really, really like him. So, yeah. Guess I will see you guys next time. Bye!